Thank you. Okay. The Scituate School Committee is committed to providing an environment of respect during meetings. We ask all members to interact in a polite manner, even when there is disagreement. We value the participation of our community and want all participants, including marginalized and minoritized communities, to feel welcomed and respected. We ask our committee members and all who participate to commit to these standards to support and respect our community. Okay, with that said, I will call the September 16th, 2025 school committee meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. And we'll start in tonight with our public comment. Do we have any hands raised remotely or anyone in person who would like to come up to the table? Not seeing anyone remote or in person here. Okay. All right. Which is new business here. All right, we're going to move forward with new business here. Before we do so in appointing our interim superintendent. First, I'd just like to read our statement here. The Scituate School Committee would like to thank Superintendent Burkhead for his leadership in our district through the COVID-19 pandemic, through numerous capital and operational improvements in laying the foundation for future academic success for our students, upon which we are excited to continue and build. Mr. Burkhead's retirement also coincides with a planned medical leave for surgery, which will allow the school committee to appoint an interim superintendent at our meeting tonight. And this is to ensure a smooth leadership transition. And we will then begin a search in the coming months for a more permanent superintendent going forward. So now we'll take up the opportunity for our committee to discuss appointing the interim superintendent in that position. Actually, one thing before we do so, Ms. Lindbaum has a correction from our
Yesterday's update.
Yesterday update.
I neglected to mention the boys golf team is undefeated. They're 7-0. I had what you might call a brain fart, where I saw the low score and thought, oh my God, they keep losing, but they keep winning. So I apologize, and I hope they keep up the good work. So
thank you for the update. Everyone's off to amazing seasons across the board. I know clubs are at it at the high school and middle school, and youth sports are out there, and everyone's enjoying a wonderful September. So, all right. So let's take up our new business here, appointing our interim superintendent. I will kind of open it up to the committee for discussion before we take a vote. Does anyone want to start?
I can start. I think just to state kind of the obvious, we have two really very highly qualified candidates who are here with us tonight, who both have the qualifications and also the skills to take on the role. So we're starting from a place of being, I think, very fortunate in a time like this, that we do have people who know, what we're up to and have been already leading in various capacities. So I think that's the first thing to recognize, that being Ryan Lynch, our assistant superintendent, and Todd Robb, our director of business and finance. So to me, it's, that's kind of where we're starting from. And then I think, in terms of the official hiring timeline, my understanding is that these things typically kick off in the winter with, rounds of listening sessions and things like that, after which we, open up applications and things. So in some ways, it's going to be here before we know it. It's a fast moving situation, I think. And so I think, we're thinking about a relatively short amount of time for this interim role. So it's not like, a forever situation, although whichever candidate was in it, that they could go on and apply and things like that. We know that is true. And I guess just thinking about what we have going on in the district, September, we have a lot that's already in motion. There's, the new school stuff ongoing. We have a lot of curriculum work that we started under Mr. Lynch's leadership last year that feels really like new and still moving and kind of fragile in some ways to me. We have our new website and app that's still taking life as we speak, I think. And then the typical just everyday runnings of schools. I know we've talked a little bit about some goals that we have, potentially rethinking and bringing a finer point to the strategic plan that we've been working under, which is nearing the end of its life anyhow. So those are just what I've been thinking in terms of what this person would need to take on.
No, I 100% agree what Maria said about our assistant super and business director, so it's not an easy decision, but.
Yeah, no, I would echo it. I think that we are lucky to have Ryan and Tom as well. I don't know how it should feel like. Do we ask them if they're interested in doing it? I think we probably would need to do that. I think, again, we are lucky that we have their experience and expertise and so on. So
we need a motion for
have that.
We need a
But-
motion.
But I don't know, do we formally
I
ask?
think we asked their
Take a
opinion.
motion for a vote for appointing our interim superintendent. I'm asking for a motion for a vote for interim superintendent.
Are you asking for a motion?
Yes.
I think for me, I've thought about this a lot over the past several days. It comes down to the fact that while we are choosing one of these people to take this role, the jobs that they are already doing have to keep being done, and how we will be able to replace them in the case that one of them is moved into the interim role. And I mean this in the nicest, kindest way possible, but it feels to me as though Tom is a little bit more replaceable in that I do honestly mean this in the nicest way, only because, bringing in somebody on a short term, like quick, you gotta learn this to do the budget and finance stuff is a little bit more clear cut than bringing in somebody who is gonna step into the work Ryan has just started, which is a lot of the curriculum work that just feels like fragile to me. I don't know. So that is where I have been thinking, just in terms of we're needing to do this obviously quite quickly. And to me, it feels as though Ryan is a little bit more irreplaceable than Tom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use those terms, but
With endearment.
I would.
though.
I'm also, I guess, for this discussion is this interim position mean that they're relieved of their existing duties and only becoming the super, or are they potentially taking a dual role?
I think it depends on which role, which person is appointed, is very difficult.
So I guess to use different language, perhaps Tom has the better ability to be able to manage two roles, these two roles. I think that there is a lot of overlap with what Tom has been doing potentially.
Or
That's
I
how I
think
understand
it's
it.
easier to hire someone on a short term to come in and do some of the work Tom has been doing in his role in business and finance and get up to speed more quickly than it is to post for an interim assistant superintendent to work on some of the curriculum stuff that Ryan has been working on.
I would agree with that. I think
Yeah.
Ryan's been working hard to
I just don't want to shake that
immerse
foundation.
himself within the specific needs of Scituate and working with department chairs and principals, and he spent the last year doing in-depth work in our district. That to bring in someone as an assistant superintendent would be immersing themselves, starting from scratch in that work. That sounds like a deeper dive than someone sort of coming in with a budget lens, which is what Maria is saying. So I would concur with Maria on that point. I also think Tom's been exemplary in managing the needs of the school building project, as him and I have been partners in that. And Janice has been there with us as well. So, and that project is, at such a crucial point right now that it's like an awkward point where we're not making certain decisions, but I think he's been really just when we've needed leadership there, he's really been someone who's been able to direct the district in a very clear and concise way that has just been excellent. Boots on the ground, like at Hatherley, with the safety of the kids and teachers and everyone in mind, as we start to bring in equipment and, actually bring it to life. I think that's really important to have someone who knows construction projects and that's just the experience of that. And to me, that makes an easy decision in this moment.
I would worry about Ryan getting bogged down by some of the more operational aspects of the interim role, and that if he were trying to balance keeping the curriculum stuff moving, curriculum and instruction stuff, that is really the heart of what we've been working so hard towards, the curriculum planning that Ryan has begun and some of the, all the PD work that he leads. Like if we drop that ball, we're in pretty big trouble, I would say. I just think we want someone who is, we want Ryan's focus and kind of, I would just hate to shake that foundation, I guess is how I feel. I'm a little worried. Just because I know also in the interim super role, it is that, school building projects is a lot of work, but also it's like every little thing that pops up that we're not even seeing yet. And those things can be time consuming. That said, I don't know if I can or should say this, but I wonder if, as we're thinking in the next part when we talk about compensation, I don't know, am I allowed to talk about that? No. Okay. I will not talk about that.
No, I agree. I just want to make sure that we, I guess, as you just expounded on a lot. I fully support Tom. I just want to make sure that we have an understanding of what the expectation of the interim is. That's all. I think that Tom would satisfy that perfectly. Again, I think that Tom has been doing a lot of kind of dual roles to some degree.
Yeah.
That would be easier. And this would be through the end of the fiscal year, June 30th, correct? The interim.
Yeah.
And then we would go through the hiring process, which we would hopefully be done by March. Roughly, something like that.
Right.
March, April.
And have that new contract start July 1, which I think is pretty desirable for someone who's making that switch from wherever they're coming, whether it's internal or external, to make that switch.
Right. I mean, theoretically, this would be effective September 17th through the end of the fiscal year, June 30th.
You still need a motion, or do we already make the motion?
No, she needs a motion. I'll make the motion. I make a motion that we approve Tom Robb as the interim superintendent.
Second.
Did I say
Oh,
that
no.
properly?
Any other discussion? I will add one point of discussion that I did. Carrie was unable to join us this evening, but was in support of this as well and concurred on many of the points made here when her and I discussed different things too. So that's all. Okay.
There was a motion in a second.
Okay. Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I'll avoid the drama of moving my seat. We can start that.
Yeah. All right. Now I need a motion to enter executive session.
Make a motion to exit open session at, that clock is not working.
No, it's not.
That's my first act.
Yeah, at 6:15, for reason number 2. Do we need to read what reason number 2 is? Which is to conduct strategy session in preparation for negotiations for non-union personnel.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
This will be a roll
I'm
call.
sorry, I'm not looking at the blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gates?
Yes.
Manuel, sorry.
Yes.
I was just saying Fenwick?
Yes.
Brandolini, yes. All right.